Eventually the song ended, and it seemed that everyone had to get to Miriam and her family to give them a hug. There was so much wrapped in those hugs. We were telling the family that we were sorry that Brad had been taken from them. We were also telling them that we admired their courage in dealing with their loss. We were also telling them thank you for sharing with us. And last but not least, we were assuring them that just as Brad would never be forgotten, we would always remember and be there for them, his family, which was now part of our family. At the close of the banquet, once again, people began to congregate and simply enjoy each other's company. The official big kahuna, Eddie Hancock, had his traditional picture taken with his ladies. There was more entertainment from Bob Moore and his singers, Ed Abernathy and Glenn Goss. And even Willie Nelson made a special appearance. The rest of that evening was spent saying our goodbyes, as many of us were going to be leaving rather early the next morning. Saying goodbye is always difficult, but especially so when you had just gone through such an emotional roller coaster. I remember that I went to bed that night as physically and emotionally exhausted as I've ever been in my life. As tired as I was, however, sleep was difficult. My mind kept trying to replay the events of the last 3 days, and it was unable to keep up with everything that had happened. It was a definite systems overload. The next morning we checked out of the hotel, said some more goodbyes, and began our trip back to Illinois. When I returned home and people asked how the reunion went, I'm proud to tell them that next to my salvation experience and my family, I've never had any experience in life that impacted me the way those 3 days in Memphis and Mark III did. It's evident that everyone else at the Union was impacted the same way. Those horrible, torturous images that many of us have lived with so long have been dealt with, and for many put to rest by the life-changing events of that last weekend in September 2008. Yes, it was quite a weekend. From our arrival on Thursday morning and seeing old friends and making new ones, from Charlie Company, Echo Company, and our wonderful medics. The last we shared as I received the Uncle Fester Look-alike trophy. The fun we had fellowshipping together Thursday evening. The very informative meeting the ladies had on Friday morning with Phil Driscoll from the Veterans Administration. The arrival of and boarding the buses in the hotel parking lot. The stop on the way to Mark III to link up with the Iron Posse Motorcycle Club. That beautiful sight of what I have come to call our Welcome Home Overpass. A special thank you goes to the East Poinsett County Elementary School in Tyronza, Arkansas. The honor we were given to be Grand Marshals of the Mark III Homecoming Parade. The combined choir singing patriotic songs. And getting to meet our pen pals. Our afternoon trip to the wall where we honored Maxine Talley, Miriam Bradshaw Hunter, and the 16 men from Poinsett County who were on the wall. The planting of our tree and the placing of soil from Vietnam in the soil of the tree. The wonderful meal at Mark III Elementary School, at which a beautiful quilt was given to Darv Brand. We as a unit presented $1,000 to the Teddy Talley Scholarship Fund. We received the key to the city. Bob Moore sang 50,000 names on the wall, and Vance Doc Gifford read the emotional poem, War. Our candlelight ceremony at the wall honoring the men from Charlie Company, Echo Company, and our medics who gave the last full measure of devotion. Rest in peace, Cav Brothers. Saturday morning began with Doug and Cindy Young's presentation on life in Vietnam today. The powerfully emotional meeting of Miriam Bradshaw and her family with some of the men who served with Brad. We call them our angels: Leroy Harshberger, Bob Lott, Bob Moore, John Myers, and David Sprinkle. Saturday afternoon was time for group photos of the entire group, Charlie Company, Echo Company, medics, and others. Saturday evening at 6:30, the doors opened for our banquet, and the first surprise we had was the living three-man statue. Then the color guard posted the colors, and the missing man table was assembled. After our meal, a very inspirational speech was given by Nick Bacon, recipient of this country's highest award, the Congressional Medal of Honor. Then the very emotional candlelight ceremony when we heard the recordings of Miriam's letters to Brad, that ended with Miriam and her son Ben dancing to Unchained Melody, which was Miriam and Brad's favorite song. Yes, looking back over the events of those days, this definitely was a reunion where emotion was the path to healing. I extend my sincere thanks to everyone who attended the reunion and made it such a memorable, life-changing experience. I am truly blessed to be a part of this brotherhood.